two rods, and we're all standing around them in a fight. Like, standing sideways to the monsters, jabbing at the monsters with one hand, and swigging potions with the other.
Traffic controls are on strike. Again.
Who's on strike?
The French air traffic controllers. They're striking more than the miners round here did in the 80s.
Not enough fast potions for air traffic controllers in France. Okay, I've stayed like 5 minutes more than I was going to here. I'm gonna call it there. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed playing this. This has made my day, to be honest. And of course, that world was created. That's my server. You know, that stuff's all still there. Other people can go right onto this server if I make it a dedicated server, give out my IP. Other people can go on it, play it. I can have multiple servers set up. It's so cool. Let me quickly, before I go back to monitor capture. This game, Divinity Original Sin. I don't think I've actually got any screenshots from in-game. I kind of wish I did. Yeah, Divinity Original Sin. This is by Larian, the guys who did Divinity Dragon Commander. And it's an old school... Should I maximise this? There we go. I can get a better look. Or not. Just kind of blank space around the edges. Basically, it's like an old school isometric style RPG. And you can play it co-op. And what you do is, at character creation, you start your game together, someone else joins while you're sitting on the character creation screen. One of you creates one character, one of you creates the other. And you can have up to 4 people in your party in the game. And you can decide who controls what. So if player 2's not very confident, you know, like say they're new to RPGs, for example, they might just make a fighter at character creation and say, oh, you know, like, you player 1, like, you're more experienced, you take the other 2, like, not NPCs, like, side characters, like, you take those, and I'll just have my guy in combat and exploring. You know, like, I'll just focus on my one guy, because I don't know what I'm doing. You know, and you can do that, or you can give one side character to each character, or you can take, to each player rather, or you can take Lone Wolf, and only one of you might, you know, then you can't have side characters. You know, maybe player 1's super confident and takes Lone Wolf, but player 2 isn't, and doesn't take it, so player 2 can still have side characters, but player 1 can't. And you've got all these different traits, and the character creation's super complex, and the RPG doesn't hold your hand at all. Like, the game opens with a murder investigation. That's your first quest. It's like this. He was the husband of a shop owner in town has been murdered, and you have to find out what happened. So, I mean, the clues offered in the quest hint will kind of take you through sort of an official path for the story for that quest. But say you're thinking, you know, you're thinking on your own, you're doing your own thing, and you think, well, what if I could examine the corpse? Okay, so you find the graveyard, you find a shovel, you can just go dig up the corpse, and there's a clue there that'll lead you to something else. Or maybe you suspect the wife, you know, the shop owner, the wife of the guy who died, and you sneak into her house, like you actually use your roguey abilities, and I don't know, maybe you wait for her not to be home and smash down the door, or maybe you lockpick the door and sneak right in behind her while she's not looking, you know, and you go rummaging through her bedroom and her basement for clues, you know, you find documents that lead you somewhere else, Or maybe you think, hey, maybe the captain of the guard knows something. Or maybe, you know, like someone obviously buried the body. Who buried the body? Let's go find the mortician. And you go to the mortician's house. And maybe he isn't helping you, so you rummage through his things stealthily. Or maybe you just stop giving a fuck because he's a liar. You know, and you rummage through his things right in front of him. You know, and you find the clues and you dig out the mystery on your own. Like, the entire game is like that. It doesn't really hand you anything, but it's not difficult, if you get what I'm saying. If you're thinking you can do things your own way, it is a totally open RPG. This is the single best RPG out right now. I didn't pay 30 quid for it, holy fuck. I think I pre-ordered it somewhere else. I think it was like the Humble Store or Kickstarter or something, I can't remember. And I paid like 10 quid for it. It's well worth the 30 quid. Like I said, it's co-op. There is cross-platform multiplayer, but I think that actually means like Mac and Linux rather than like consoles. And the combat's turn-based. Like, you get a bunch of action points, you spend your action points, click end turn, it moves on to the next character in the sequence. You can see it in this screenshot, actually. It's too small to see clearly. But at the top you've got the turn order. Let's see, like, you can't really tell because it's too small, I can't really tell. But you get a bunch of action points above your health bar at the bottom. And when you spent those, you click it, or like you save some for the next turn maybe. You click end turn, move on. Like the next person in the run takes those, and that's how the co-op combat works. You're not moving at the same time. You know, you're still taking it in sequence. There you can see, like, in this screenshot, you can see the spell arcs. And this is really cool because, say you're fighting an enemy mage, and he's flinging fireballs in an arcing pattern. But you've got, like, you're a big, strong warrior, but you don't have a shield. So you're kind of getting hammered by this mage. But you've got a couple of crates, or a big heavy metal barrel or something right next to you. You can take that item, literally pick it up, and you can put it in the path of the spell. Like, you can actually physically move items in the world and actually block an enemy's spell. And when you're playing as an archer or a mage, you can actually, like, you can see that yellow line on the screenshot, that's a spell arc. That's the path that spell's going to take. And there's a magic missile type spell that weaves left and right like in a zigzag pattern, and you can actually curve that around objects if you aim it carefully. And it can have that, like, weave its way through a pack of enemies and hit the guy at the back just by careful aiming. Or you can combine effects. For example, say there's a puddle of water. Shoot lightning into it, it's electrified. Shoot ice into it, it's frozen. Shoot fire into it, it evaporates into steam. Shoot lightning into the steam. Suddenly you've got an electrified cloud. Shoot ice into the steam and it turns back into water. Oh, excuse me. Say you've got poison on the floor. Shoot fire into the poison and it'll explode. If there's heat around the poison, it'll start smoking like gases. Fire a fireball into that, it'll explode. You know, cast an oil slick spell. Create oil on the floor. You could leave it at that and just let the enemies slip on it. Or throw a fireball in there. Explode them. Create a wall of fire with careful, like, positioning to funnel the enemy into your fighter. It's so cool. You know, I don't know, maybe you're carrying a jug of oil. Throw that jug of oil, like, right out of your inventory, literally just, like, drag it out of your inventory and wang it into the battle. And, you know, smash oil all over the floor, it's so cool. Oh, excuse me. I really can't talk this game up enough. I'm gonna have to stop because I do need to go eat. I should have gone and eaten like 15 minutes ago now. Divinity Original Sin, go buy it. It's awesome. Seriously, go buy it. I want to play co-op. And I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for watching.